Hey guys, happy Wednesday to you. It is Becky Williams from Full On Purpose. I hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday already. Remember, if you're on Instagram, please hop on over to Facebook, Becky Williams Full On Purpose, to get the full version of today's Word Up Wednesday. So today I want to read a little bit from this devotional. It's called Nurturing Great Kids, and it's a 365-day devotional, so just a one a day. Very, very good book. I highly recommend it. So I wanted to tell you the reason that I decided to pick this particular devotion for today is because of something that happened with our oldest son, Slade. Slade is 5, and so he is learning how to behave in kindergarten, learning how things work, consequences, that type of thing. So we have just entered into these uncharted waters as parents since he's our first. So we're doing the best that we can. But recently, this past week, he actually walked on over to our neighbor's house, and the first day he came home, he had just a little bitty rock. And he said, "Look, this is a rock that somebody gave to me." So I was excited for him. I mean, it was a little pebble. I figured, it probably is truly from him. But as time progressed, each day, he brought home a bigger rock, a nicer rock. So I started getting a little suspicious. And the last one that he brought, I could tell, was a decorative rock. Like you would purchase to put into your garden. So I contacted our sweet neighbor who's so gracious and so good to us, and he did say that Slade had actually taken that from his yard. So of course Slade had to go apologize, and I talked to him about stealing and how it's not right and that type of thing. But as parents, we want to do the best things for our kids, and so each child is different, right? So Maddox, our second son, he's going to respond differently than Slade will, because they're two different kids completely. And so we were looking for a way to either reward the positive behavior, to give them consequences for stealing, talking to them, just working through that to figure out what would be the best way. So I wanted to read today's devotion to you and just give you a little insight onto what the author says about this subject. So the title of it is Balancing Tension. Slade is a child that whenever you fuss at him, he's a lot like his mother. When you fuss at him, he gets very upset, very, very emotional, because he doesn't want to disappoint and he doesn't like to be in trouble. So he's a very sensitive child. So whenever we do fuss at him or, punish him for something that he's done, it creates tension in our home. Okay, so that's kind of what this is talking about today, about balancing tension. It says, the verse that it's based off of is Proverbs 29 and 27. It says, "The righteous detest the dishonest, the wicked detest the upright." Your children need to understand the tension that exists between good and evil in the world. They need to understand how this tension comes right down to the living room in their house. When children commit dishonest deeds, conflicts will arise because the rest of the family is trying to promote good. It may be as minor as your child stealing a cookie from the cookie jar, but it will conflict between you and them. When your teenager plagiarizes on a paper, there will be consequences that will lead to opposition. Helping your children understand that you don't condone dishonesty will benefit you as a parent, because they will know to expect correction when they lie. Okay, so this, as soon as we figured out that Slade had stolen the rocks, it was something that needed to be corrected immediately and in the right way. Okay, so that's what this is talking about. If their dishonesty becomes a regular issue, you may see them start to withdraw from you. Or, as an older teen, may decide to leave to avoid your correction. As difficult as it may be, you need to continue to discipline them. Remember, we parents for the long-term health and wealth of our children. That's what we're doing. We are raising adults. Okay, we are not or raising them to become adults. We are not here to be their friends and to make the whole world revolve around them and make them think that this world is going to support them in the way that we do. Our job as parents is to instill God's word in them, teach them basic principles, teach them about how to survive and how to be a flourishing and functional adult in the world. Not that you get to steal something and nothing happens, there's no consequence for it, because that's not how it works. If you don't show up for work, you don't get paid. If you don't turn in your schoolwork in college, you get a bad grade and you have to redo that, and it's going to cost you money to retake the class. Okay, so there's consequences for everything that we do. Don't give in to momentary lapses of dishonesty to avoid conflict. This is something that I struggle with, because sometimes I debate back and forth with my husband. Is this really a big enough deal that we need to correct him? But what we've realized is that when we don't correct the little things, so on that Monday when he came home with a rock, I should have checked that day to see if that was something that he took and not waited until Thursday or later on in the week whenever I realized, oh, he's been doing this all week, because it went unnoticed, and so he continued that behavior. Your conflict will only increase ahead if you decrease your parenting responsibilities. So the parenting principle that I want to leave you with today is, when you don't know the facts, don't be fooled by fiction. Okay, do your research, find out exactly what's happening in your kids' lives. They may not like it now, but they'll appreciate you later. Okay, so be an involved parent. Here are some points to ponder if you are a parent. Overall, how have you promoted a home of honesty? Do you have something on the wall that talks about the way that your home's going to be run, that everyone's going to be honest and that type of thing? Do you have rewards in place? Do you have consequences for if someone is dishonest? Okay, how do you build principles of honesty in your children? Is this something that you're actively doing? Is it something that you're focused on? Or is it just something that you hope that they'll pick up from other people? Which may not be an intentional thing. You may think that you're that you're telling them about how to be honest and teaching them that, but if you really stop to reflect, how much work are you putting into this to teach them those types of principles? And lastly, what are the benefits of honesty you can discuss with your child? So I want you to think about your child's age, this point in their life. What is it that they really need to know about? What should you discuss with them on being honest? Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed today's Word Up Wednesday, and if you will join us next week on the same page on Instagram or Facebook, I'll have more tips for you to live by. I hope that you have an awesome week. God bless you.